Are your kitchen and bathroom way overdue for a remodel? Well, I got the guy for you. Call John Sellers at First Response Contracting, 484-256-7136. Both residential and commercial services, and he's licensed and insured. Call him at 484-256-7136. First Response Contracting. Hello, this is Brad Weisman. You're listening to Real Estate and You. We're back in the studio again. We're here every Thursday at 1 o'clock. You can now set your watch to that because that's what we're doing. So we have a really cool guest in the studio. Her name is Kell Spayd. You might have heard of her before. I don't know, maybe. She's from Keller Williams Platinum Realty. I get the wonderful advantage of working with her in the same office. So that's really cool, too. So we have her in here today because she is one of the top agents, has been one of the top agents in our area for many, many years. And, you know, I don't know, are you the number one realtor, Kelly, or no?
I'm not sure.
I'm not even sure either. We have to look and see. I know you're up there.
Yes.
And you've been up there for a long time. And it's amazing. And I want to congratulate you on that. Thank because you. It's a lot. It's a lot that you do. And it just blows my mind sometimes when I see the kind of business that you're doing. And I know you do a great job because there's no way you can be on top for this long without doing a great job.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to go into some questions here, and I have some stuff I actually prepared. I don't normally prepare questions, actually, believe it or not. But for you, I wanted to because I want to make sure that it was good stuff. Right off the top of my head, what makes you different than the other realtors? Like, what makes you a top realtor? There's 900 agents in Berks County. What sets you apart? What do you think it is?
Well, I think my communication and my relationships that I build with my clients. Just talking to people, being real, not somebody that is really not the person in front of you. I love to have conversations, get to know them. Most of my clients I do know. All my clientele is referral based. So I have something in common with them. I know them, friend of a friend, family, cousin. Make them feel comfortable. This is the hardest thing they're ever going to do in their life. It's very stressful. So the more that you're on the same level as they are, is the better, the better they're going to feel. So
listening, right?
Correct. Communication. Don't disappear after you list their house.
Interesting.
Become their friend. When I was just at a listing appointment yesterday and I said, you're going to be my new best friend because that's how much we're going to communicate, whether you like it or not.
You have to ask that question. Hey, do you want to have her friends?
So I just think, making them feel like they're on top and they're number one makes it a better relationship. And then obviously the knowledge of the market.
Yeah. So, and the thing that I like to tell people about your situation, you don't have a team per se.
Correct.
You're not, when you go to a listing appointment, it's you.
Correct.
When they call you, it's you coming to the house.
Correct.
Right. Now, I know you have a great team as far you have some people helping you.
Correct.
And you could call that a team of people helping. I know Ann helps out and does an amazing job.
She sure does.
She sure does. Yeah. We got to give her credit here, right? If we don't, we'd go upstairs and she'd be gone, right? That wouldn't be good. All your stuff's out in the parking lot.
Right.
Maybe she would be here. You'd be gone. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation. So there's obviously a system. You have systems in place.
Yes.
You're not doing the production that you're doing without systems in place.
Yes. I think if you surround yourself with great systems and good people, it definitely keeps me in line. It keeps me on the same page. So I do have a second full-time assistant that just started with me, and her name is Deb.
Yes, I know Deb. Deb's awesome.
She's fabulous as well. She's more client relation based, past referral history, command with our Keller Williams technology. And then I have a showing assistant that helps me and some other agents in the office.
Yeah, sure.
We're all on the same page.
That's awesome. So it's funny because you're obviously a good relationship builder. You're good at building relationships. You're good at making people feel comfortable. Because I think in any relationship, whether it's business, marriage, whatever it is, it's about trust.
Correct.
And you're obviously a master at building the rapport and the trust in a very short period of time because we don't always have that time. Now, because you're referral based, they're taking it from their friend or the other person that dealt with you, right?
Yes. So, they're hearing the experience from whoever, sent them my way. So their expectations are, 110% when I show up at that listing.
Yeah.
And I treat every client the same. If it's a $50,000 listing versus $1 million property, they're my clients and they're going to get top service.
That's important too. And it's something I do notice and I take notice of that when I see your social media and I see on Instagram,
Of course.
you do the same type of posting, the same type of everything. And sometimes I look at the house and go, oh, wow, she's putting a lot of effort into that, which is good. But you know what though? That's the way it should be.
You're exactly right.
They're employing you. They're expecting the Kell Spayd treatment, and if they don't get it, that's not right. So I think I give you kudos for that. I think that's really good that you do that, because there's a lot of agents that don't. There's agents that will go, oh, it's just 130,000 or it's 80,000. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. So I think that's good.
Those are the people that become repeat clients because they buy a larger house.
Absolutely.
So the best.
Give them your best always, right? Give them your best always. So one of the things is when you are on top of an industry or on top of your game in any industry, do you find it harder to stay there, or do you feel that you kind of have this foundation now that you just build on that foundation, or you're not every year you're not dipping down going, oh man, I got to do this all over again?
No, I feel both ways. Of course, it's hard to stay motivated at that point. Hey, it's all about me. It's intrinsic. I want to beat myself. I want to beat my own numbers.
Interesting.
But I also want to have a great life. Be a wonderful mom. Don't miss any of their events. So, happy life with work is going to, bring a happy family. So you have to be on the same page with that, dealing with your emotions, but also it does become easier each year.
Right.
I have the systems in place. I know the expectations. Of course, we're in the winter market right now.
Yeah.
What do? We get sad. I recently hired a coach, and we're on the phone gearing up for the spring market, gearing up what's going to happen next if the market turns. So staying positive at all aspects of every type of market is also key. And that becomes, that comes with experience. Yeah.
And your customers also, they see that.
Of course.
If you're coming into the house negative and bummed out, that doesn't go well.
Yes.
So I think it's important that you do that. But it's just interesting is that, I know when you're on the top, a lot of times it's very stressful because you want to stay there.
For sure.
But like you said too, there's work-life balance.
Yes.
And I think that's what I see you kind of doing. You haven't come down in production, but I see you doing that. I see that through your social media. I see that through knowing you as a friend, that you are really getting better. I should say better at splitting that up.
And, you have to, I was just on a call with the Lancaster office this morning, and I said, you have to, put those expectations up to your clients. If we're texting at 9:30 at night and I'm putting my kids to bed, that's not fair to anybody.
No.
So
that's exactly right.
So if I set those standards ahead of time at our first appointment, have those consultations with them, everybody respects each other, and we figure it out.
Setting expectations. Oh, is that important, right?
It is very important in my life.
And it's so funny. We teach people how to treat us.
You're exactly right.
And that is, gosh, is that true, right? Because as soon as you text back, as you text somebody back at 11 o'clock at night, they expect that from that point on.
Yes. And it's you just, if you have that conversation up front, hey, me personally, I go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, right.
We want to text at 11 p.m. I'm up at 5 a.m. Do you want that?
Yeah, right.
And it's not being rude. It's just saying, hey, there's a time and place for everything. I'm going to get the job done. If it's not emergency, we can talk tomorrow morning, or we can talk at your lunch break the next day. So, we just figured that out. And Ann and I have been on a great pace the past couple of months of that respect with my clientele.
Right.
And it just makes an easier relationship.
Cool. Yeah. And I bet you in the beginning, and that's a learned trait,
sure.
right? I got to tell you,
maturity.
Absolutely. Because in the beginning, I bet you $10, you were like, oh, I'll call them at midnight if I have to, or I'll do this.
For 10 years ago, I got in a car without a pre-approved buyer, So now the knowledge that I have, I'm going to teach them what our first steps are and how to make that process work.
That's cool. And I think that's good. And it's funny when you do build that expectation, the word expectation, they know what to expect then.
Exactly
and I think they honor that. Correct. And they actually honor the boundaries. They honor the boundaries that you've set ahead. And a lot of times if you let them know it's about your family.
Yes.
People have families. They get it,
I totally
agree.
They
get it. And if they don't, maybe you need to fire them.
You're right.
Right?
I've had those.
We can fire clients.
Yes.
People out there are going, wait, realtors fire clients? Are you kidding me? I thought they went for every dollar they could.
No. It's definitely all relationship based for me. So.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's really cool. So, is there something that we don't know about you that people would go, what? Now, is this the part where we cue the photo? Is this the part? I don't know. Tell us what we don't know about you.
I recently had an article in the Why Missing Neighbors magazine, and I was interviewed, and she asked me the same question. And I grew up on a dairy farm in Kutztown,
which always blows my mind.
Richmond Township.
You didn't bring any milk.
I know how to milk cows. I was in 4-H. I showed cows.
Unbelievable. Who would have thought that Kell Spayd showed cows? How do you show cows? Like that, like seriously, is this a whole nother show? Yes. We could bring a cow in? Sounds like a moving experience. I don't know.
Exactly right. Got to wash them, spike their hair.
Spike their hair. Oh my God.
So, yes. And I was also a Little Miss Dairy Princess.
Little Miss Dairy Princess. I think we have a picture. I mean, if you're listening to a podcast, that is a good picture. You look proud.
Socks.
Those socks are special. Are those the little ones you fold down? Yep. Like the ones you fold down? Yeah. I have a pair of those.
I would not be caught dead in those right now.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That's really cool, though.
But I take that to my parents. In middle school, high school, it was hard for me. Everybody lived in town.
Yeah.
So I get all my respect for that and my hard work from my parents. So.
You come from more humble beginnings.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. You don't realize that when you're growing up.
No.
But,
I'm
the
same
dedication with my job, both of my parents taught me that. I've worked since I'm 12 years old.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that? We have something in common that we didn't know. I milked a cow too. We used to have a farmette. We didn't have a full dairy farm, but we had a farmette. So we had 4 cows,
Yes.
but it was just for us. We had 2 dairies and 2 steer, and then we would obviously butcher them and they would be tasty dinners. But we did the milk, we did chickens. We used to go out every Saturday morning, get the eggs ourselves, bring them in, and that's how we had breakfast, Made our own butter, which was fun too. So all that kind of stuff. So it's funny that we have that little thing in common. Yeah. It grounds you. It definitely grounds you.
It does. And my father and brother still do this. So
wow. It's hard work.
Yes.
Hard work.
Never a vacation.
Nope. And it's early work. They're up early, really early.
Hence why I'm up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, she's milking cows. That's why. We didn't even know this, right?
That's right.
So I had some other things on here. Do you think technology has made it easier or harder to maintain relationships with your clients?
It's changed my world, technology.
Okay. Good or bad?
Good. So, obviously during COVID, we were all at home and worried about how we're going to sell a house, how we're going to do settlements. All of my clients are now electronic based unless they don't have email.
Yeah,
of course, I go to their house to get documents signed, but everything's electronic and it just saves time.
Oh, yeah,
and time is money. The smarter you work, the more successful you're going to be. All electronic, and I do give back to Keller Williams, what they've taught me. We have a command system for our database, and that's, Deb is doing that
kicking
end of it.
butt. She's really good at it too.
Sure.
She's really good at it.
And that's important because every single person is on their phone, on their email, taking phone calls. So why not have it happen that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
Parents are running to different sporting events at night, play practice, different ways. They're not home together discussing what their offer is on their house. So, group text messages, group phone calls, Zoom has changed the world.
Yeah.
And, I missed some of the personal relationships, but it gets done quicker.
Yeah. I think it makes you're able to give better service to everybody, because you're not bogged down by the things that really weren't maybe as important to do.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
I think that's what, Zoom has done that for us. I've had customers, especially younger customers, that will say, hey, you know what? We'd like to know more about buying a house or whatever. And a lot of times I'd say, come into the office. Now I'll offer the Zoom. I'll say, hey, what about our first conversation being on Zoom? Correct. And a lot of times, oh yeah, thank God, because so-and-so doesn't get home till then, and he's eating dinner. The woman or the guy, they could be eating dinner while we're doing the Zoom instead of rushing around,
holding a baby.
Kids,
in their arms.
Exactly. That's what it's changed. It's changed that.
Right.
Yes.
So when I first, get a buyer pre-approved, I now have buyer consultations on the phone. Not so much at the first house because the houses sell so fast. So giving them
used to do that.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Yeah,
I would have an
hour.
Conversation
Absolutely.
outside of the front of the house.
You can't now because there's 15 people that are passing you while you're trying to do this.
You're masked, So it just makes them at ease, and you're teaching them what to expect.
Cool.
And that's where I kind of introduce myself and how the process is going to go. So having that,
Yeah.
it just it changes the world.
You use it as a tool.
Yes.
It's not to be replace anything. It's to make you better and provide better services.
Yeah, and here at Keller Williams, we offer all these classes to gain some more knowledge from all of it.
Absolutely. Thanks for the Keller Williams plug. Wow, I didn't even ask for that one.
Hopefully Susan's listening.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hope so. If she's not, we'll have to make sure we play that part. All right. So one of the things is, what bit of advice would you give to somebody just starting out in this business? I mean, I remember you starting out in this business.
Trained me.
I helped do some training for you.
Open House.
Yeah, Greth Open House. Wow, that was a long time ago. Which one was it?
The
what
first
model?
one in the development in Shillington in Governor Mifflin.
Oh, get out of here! Yes. Ashley Run.
Yes, first.
Oh my gosh! Yes, I know exactly where you mean. Absolutely, that was a really pretty development.
Me.
No, I didn't know which model home it was, but I do remember you. But I remember you coming in and you. It's amazing where you've gone since then. But what? Now you have that history now. You're one of those that can say you've been in. Oh, I've been in for 16 years. 16 years.
Correct.
So you're now a veteran. What's advice do you have for people coming into the business?
Don't give up. Surround yourself with people that are willing to teach you.
Yeah.
Coming in new, maybe you want to join a team, train with someone, because you have to understand what's going on. Every day is a new day. Yeah. I learn something new every day.
Absolutely. And you will.
I could be the queen of repairing septic systems. I could teach that class.
Yep.
So, I did so many open houses every weekend. It's a little bit different type of market to do that right now, but sending thank you notes, picking up clients from that is a great way to grow. But I just think always learning from somebody that's been in the market, in the industry for a while does help. Experience, just surround yourself.
It's a learning based business. It really is.
But it's constantly an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, absolutely.
So
never the same day twice.
Never
the same day twice. That's why I love getting up every morning to do this, because it's never the same day twice. And you're making a difference in people's lives. You really are. I mean, think about what happens in a home. You babies are born. Kids are raised, birthdays happen, anniversaries happen. There's so much that goes on inside a house, and all those memories and everything that happens. It all happens inside a home.
That's why people cry at settlement.
Yeah, exactly right. And I've seen that many times where they raise their children or something like that, and all of a sudden there's like an emotion that hits, and you just see the tears running down their face, which is always tough. It's really tough. So that's really great advice, and I want to say thanks for coming on the show again. This is your second time.
It is, but this is really fancy now.
It's getting a little different now. It's getting a little different. We got a producer, Hugo, over there. We got TVs in here. We're going to be painting it, doing all kinds of stuff. But
awesome.
Thanks for coming in. It's always great to hear you share. And I think I'll be seeing you in Florida on Sunday.
Yes.
Right?
Keller Williams Family Reunion.
I cannot wait. It's going to be a good time. Thanks a lot for coming out. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136.